If you've ever wondered where it all started for some of Britain's top sailors, you can get the chance to find out on the weekend of the 3rd and 4th of March. London's Alexandra Palace will be packed to the rafters with Olympic sailing boats and the athletes who sail them. It's the annual RYA Volvo Dinghy show. Helen Waterhouse is organiser of the show.
Alexandra Palace is a beautiful old Victorian building, and it was built as the People's Palace back in the 1800s. It's a beautiful yellow stone brick building, and the main feature in the Great Hall is the rose window, a beautiful stained glass window. And it's a very light, bright, it's a very buzzy atmosphere. It's a great show, and people come from all over the country to show off their boats, show off their wares, and we get visitors from all over the place. It really kickstarts the sailing season, and it's got a real buzz about it.
Now in its 61st year, it's the only show in the world that offers a unique one-stop shop for dinghy sailing. It's the place to be for anyone who fancies taking to the water in a small boat, for those who are already enjoying this healthy sport, and for those at the very top. It's no big surprise that the show has a real Olympic feel this year. Britain topped the medal tables in sailing in 2008, and there are some big hopes for Team GB sailors in the summer. Some of the team will be at the show to share their hopes and experiences, not only with aspiring future medalists, but also with those who just want to be part of the Olympic atmosphere. Stephen Park is team manager for Scandia Team GBR. He tells us why the show is a great place to plan a future Olympic campaign.
Fantastic place to start if you're interested in going to maybe the 2016 or 2020 Olympic Games. Certainly you'll be able to see all the current Olympic boats on site there at Alexandra Palace, and you'll be able to rub shoulders with a lot of the Olympic sailors who are actually going to be racing this coming summer in Weymouth and Portland. Every Olympic dream starts somewhere, and you've got to come in with some passion, with some determination about what it is that you want to achieve, and ultimately that's exactly what any of our sailors have done. And the dinghy show is a fantastic place to do that, to really get involved in the sport, to generate that passion for sport, and to start setting your sights and taking each step on the ladder from now right through until you're successful at winning your Olympic gold.
The RYA's Celia Edgington is Sail for Gold coordinator. She tells us more about the gold activities at the show.
Our Sporting Life Sail for Gold exhibition, which is going to be in Palm Court. It's a big celebration of our British Olympic and Paralympic sailing heritage. So if you come along, you'll be able to see some beautiful photographs, memorabilia, some video footage, going right back to 1900 and right up to 2008. The other is the Sail for Gold Good Luck Card competition, which will be on the RYA stand in the Panorama Hall. Anybody between the ages of 5 and 16 can come along to the stand and make their very own good luck card for the team.
But the RYA Volvo Dinghy show's not all about elite sailing. There's plenty for the whole family, and especially those who like messing about in boats. Take one of the milestone celebrations. Jack Holt, the famous dinghy designer, was born in 1912. To celebrate his incredible talent, the show will feature the largest ever collection of Jack Holt designed dinghies. There'll also be a chance to hear about his life and work. Dinghy historian and yachts and yachting writer David Henschel.
He's the person who democratised the sport of dinghy sailing. Before Jack, it was very much a small band of elite sailors sailing elite boats, and there was no room for the man in the street. When Jack turned up, he was actually treated as an artisan and not even allowed to go into the same sailing clubs as the gentlemen were. And this really got to him, so he made boats for the people to sail.
For those who like to know what's in the water as well as on it, there's the chance to meet some very strange aliens at Alexandra Palace. Ever heard of the killer shrimp? Or Chinese mitten crab? These are just two of the species that have made their way into the UK and are threatening our existing marine life and waters. Jane Swan is from Green Blue, an environment programme for anyone who gets out on the water.
Well, the killer shrimp, their proper name is actually Dicragamus velocis. They are voracious predators, so they eat anything in sight, basically, from fish eggs, larvae, mayflies, and they are really damaging to our ecosystems. But they're also a real pain for boaters because they can actually get into dinghies, into the ribs. So we really need to make sure that when we pull all of the boats out of the water, we wash them down and we don't transport these little critters anywhere else. So there are hundreds of thousands, if not millions of them in the water. So the first thing to do is enable people to see them for real so they can see what they look like. Then the next thing is to enable the boaters, dinghy sailors in particular, to have some really quick steps they can take to prevent them spreading. So washing down the dinghy, making sure it's drained of all the water, washing down all the equipment, particularly the trailer as well, and also really importantly drying equipment, because killer shrimp can survive for up to 2 weeks in moist conditions. So if you're taking your dinghy and trailers around the UK, obviously if they survive for 2 weeks, it means that they can go into a different water body pretty quickly.
Around 8 million people take to the water to have fun every year. In Britain we have over 1,400 RYA clubs that help people make the most of their sailing. On Saturday, some very nervous sailors will be holding their breath as the RYA Club of the Year is announced. It's the big moment, and we wish the best of luck to the finalists: Chichester Yacht Club, Hollowell Sailing Club, Lee and Loughton Sailing Club, Salcombe Yacht Club and Staunton Harold Sailing Club. The RYA's Chief Executive, Sarah Tressida, tells us why the award is important.
It's hugely important. Clubs are the absolute backbone of our sport around the country, and this award helps us to do two things. First of all, to recognise and reward the achievements of some really special ones, and secondly, to help other clubs around the country by drawing out some of the best practice that they've got. They are very different clubs from very different parts of the country, some big, some small, very different audiences, but what they've got in common is some really strong links to their local communities, some strong volunteer programmes, and overall a fantastic ability to attract and get new people out on the water. That's what's important to us. And this year, very generously, we've got some sponsorship from Gallagher Heath Insurance, who work very closely with our clubs, helping make sure that they stay secure and safe. They're going to be working closely with us this year on the Club of the Year and the Club Conference.
So that's just a snapshot of this year's show. But you know, there's so much we haven't even mentioned. The Volvo main stage with some great talks from the experts, the chance to get some coaching tips from Britain's best, the children's treasure hunt, how to repair your boat, a virtual sailing regatta, exclusive top driver safety advice from a former British touring car champion, and the chance to win a dinghy by designing a sail. Want to know more? Helen Waterhouse again.
It's easy to get to the show. There are lots of ways you can come, either by road, underground, by rail, and there's actually a free shuttle bus that runs from Wood Green Station throughout the 2 days, bringing people up to the entrance at Ali Pali. It'll also pick you up from one of the free car parks and bring you around to the front door as well. Tickets, well, if you're an RYA member, you can get an advanced price of £9. You can either go online and get that through the Dinghy Show website or phone the ticket line. For non-members, in advance it's £11, and for adults on the door who aren't members, it's £13. Children go free on Sunday, and children who are RYA members go free all weekend.
Or you can log on to the show website dinghyshow.org.uk, and that ticket line is 0844 811 0409. 0844 811 0409. Look forward to seeing you at Alexandra Palace on the 3rd and 4th of March. It's the RYA Volvo Dinghy Show.